0 Hour is just around the corner, and the Simpsons Mini season is coming to a close, meaning it was finally time to hop on my alt and unlock the final Battle Pass outfit, Homer Simpson, in one day. If you're new here, I've been doing this challenge since Chapter 3, so make sure to check out the rest of the series, especially whichever seasons are your favorites. And remember to subscribe so you don't miss any in the future. These videos are inspired by Luke TheNotable, and with that, let's begin. Upon logging in, Fortnite Crew granted me instant access to the Simpsons Battle Pass, and I was rewarded with a nanner dog, who I lovingly named Code Zeywerks, whose name instantly reminded me to use Code Zeywerks in the item shop. I started out with Fortnite Festival once again. I played through a lot of keyboard technical difficulties, and caught monorail madness as I played the 56-second Simpsons song on loop, wrapping up my hour of Festival at level 9. Next up was LEGO Brick Life. I'm only playing this mode since there's some Simpsons related challenges with XP and free rewards. I could tell when I logged in that something was very wrong. If it wasn't the humans running around, then it might be the person who was flying in creative mode. The quest line is pretty tedious and eats up a lot of playtime. I tried my best to optimize my path by preparing items I'd need in advance. I had completed about half the LEGO Simpsons quests, and my 50 minutes of playtime got me to level 14. Continuing down the line was Fortnite OG. We're still on season 6 because Fortnite delayed the best season, though there's now several more weeks of challenges to go at. OG Game 1, I landed Paradise Palms to start on searching a number of chests. Before long, I started a good engagement on an enemy, but wasn't able to follow up. OG Game 2, Paradise Palms was left all to me, and I finished up searching chests. Fortnite clipped the wings of the quad crasher, which made it excruciating to use. I needed to land a 5,000 point trick, but it took me over 3 minutes of boosting around. It was not a pretty sight, and all I got for my trouble was 10,000 XP. I drove my way past a corrupted zone, where I finished an easy challenge to collect rare weapons. Later on, I silenced an Omega, getting the game down to the top 5, and using his golden loot to complete another quest. Using my learnt covert tactics, I snuck up on and beamed the player on height, which started the final battle. The zone pushed me forward hard, though a single pistol shot was able to take down the initial enemy. I stressfully built across the area, and as the final player ran in to initiate, I landed a headshot, finally securing that OG Season 6 win. I went back to the lobby to receive my umbrella at level 18, hot dropping a corrupted zone in OG Game 3. I'm wearing black and gold Megazord just to show off that I got this account to level 200 after the end of last season's video. My quest path had me opening 10 chests at Wailing Woods and Lonely Lodge, destroying structures with dynamite, visiting a third corrupted zone, and opening chests outside of named locations. Not long after, I would have some not so nice things done to me by a player of far greater building skill. Superman descended down on the residents of Flush Factory in OG Game 4. Taking a look at Aim's parachute, I quickly finished firing shots from a mounted turret and searching more chests. Using the pure aura of Superman, I negotiated with a better player to let me off the hook on 1 health in exchange for their life, though several more enemies wanted a piece. Luckily, the spirit of Ninja took over, and I was able to build somewhat effectively. A third party got me back down to 1 health again. I took down the purple Skull Trooper, and before getting to finish healing, Ned Flanders drove by, though even he didn't cause too much trouble. OG Game 5, my combo stunned its way down to Fatal Fields to search 10 more chests. I was able to finally complete 6-shooter damage without reloading just as I went down, wrapping up my time in OG at level 27, and when I got back to the lobby, it was showing me the Superman exclusive glider animation with different outfits, so I got the shot of He-Man holding the Daily Planet. I took a quick detour into Blitz, which has a new Stranger Things map. Really, I just wanted to get some footage of it for the video. There's not even any new Blitz quests out. I went down but stuck around to see my team get the win. Last of the side modes is creative. I logged on the usual Criminal Tycoon and AFK farmed for approximately 10 minutes. The XP turnout here was better than almost any other official mode. I could have definitely used creative a lot more, but I like to include gameplay in the video. If you plan to do this yourself, I totally recommend some creative farming. So to keep myself from earning too much, after just 10 minutes, I left 3 levels higher. Finally, it was time for Battle Royale. They had a no-sweat weekend going on, which promised a more relaxed pace and tighter skill-based matchmaking bands, meaning fairer fights. So please just keep that in mind while you witness what happened to me on this night of Fortnite. I dropped in, and the first quest I was able to complete was to collect a steamed ham, quickly completing another to visit the Simpson house and to complete a found quest. Before leaving, I dashed with the Blinky Fish and searched chests before the first zone closed. Seconds later, I beamed a player with my legendary Mr. Blasty and took down a couple Homer clones, which completed like 3 different challenges. Just as I was soaking in all that nice XP, Fart King 877 impulsed on top of my head and took me out, ending Game 1 at level 36. For some reason this season the story quests expire each week, meaning I only have week 3 of the Springfield Stories to do. Game 2, I figured I should start start on them, beginning with completing Lisa's found quest, which you can guarantee by talking to her. And this is totally not the right place. Alright, on my shameful drive to Mayor's Munchies, I mean Corruption Corners, a hungry little kill goblin caught my challenge-centric scent and started to chase, pulling out all these car cover strats before I was able to take them down. I won't even have to cut the footage because I was immediately taken out by someone with a TikTok to promote. Game 3, I sprayed Springfield and accepted Lisa's found quest, completing another random damage quest on an enemy, and while at 2 out of 3 books for the Lisa quest, I was shotgunned by a player who had very strong opinions about my aim. Since I didn't collect the last book, I'll have to restart the quest, meaning Game 4, Witch Marge flew down to talk to Lisa, and I finally was able to collect 3 books in Game 5, and the pure glee of finally getting it done reminded me 5 games in to start emoting at named locations. Shortly after, I used a graggle of Homer clones to complete a weekly and the next story quest, which then guided me over to talk to Lisa. After damaging Doberman, I drove the shitmobile over to Springfield Town Square. My first task was to dance at a final named location, then to destroy 50 objects at the Krusty Burger. I genuinely tripped on a rake, which hurt my ego but got me 5,000 experience, quickly also destroying the Jebediah Springfield statue for another small XP boost. Then, on my way out, I jammed on top of and prank called Moe's. Finally, I collected weapons in a donut storm before getting caught out in the middle of a field. Though since I actually got to play the game and do some challenges, I ended up level 41. Game 6, I'm straight dropping Bart. Though after he made me feel weird, I had to go. Over at Donut Districts, I destroyed the Lard Lad Donut, massacred the residents, and framed it all on El Bardo. Later on, defeated a Doberman and secured a radio tower for 2 quest completions. This game got down to a 1 versus 1. I cracked the enemy shield and exploded their car, leading me to believe I had the upper hand, though I obviously should have assumed they'd also have 6 impulses and a chug jug. When I finally got sight on their location again, they had me pinched with no mobility. Then, a single Mr. Blasty balloon sent me floating towards my demise. Super Flanders visited Cletus's cornhole in Game 7, though his welcomes were not warm as I was fired at moments after entering the cornfield. Getting down to 4 health, I still prevailed, going on to search containers and gather tomatoes. Super Flanders used his super flight abilities to soar across the area and take out the green infected Flanders. More enemies continued to pile up, so once again Super Flanders took flight, completing distance with tomatoes. In the top 4, he wound up back at the cornhole, though tragically Super Flanders fell victim to a drive-by shooting at level 45. I recorded this a couple days before the final week of challenges came out, meaning 2 things. One is that anyone trying this after me will have an easier time since there'll be more quests available. The other is that I'm currently almost out of challenges. In Game 8, I landed to hire an NPC. Killing a nearby bot sent an Epic Games assigned real player to my exact location to immediately end my game before the first zone even started closing. The no sweat weekend fun continued into Game 9, where one of my final 3 quests is to raise the flag at Camp Krusty. I dropped in, note the pink cause, and died off spawn. Game 10, I dropped back at Camp Krusty, seeing the same pink cause from last game, and Game 11, back at Camp Krusty, searched a Mr. Burns mystery box, and Game 12. Finally, in Game 13, I had Camp Krusty all to myself and got to capture the point. The game was punishing me so hard that it undid my story quest progress, so I had to drop another spray. Making my way to Krusty Burger, Peter was tasked with lacing Homer's food with vegetables. My final quest brought nasty flashbacks as I had to talk to either Lisa or Bart. One more time, and I couldn't decide which was worse. On my way over, I destroyed a player with a crown. Then, just after talking with Lisa, a random person tried to run me over, so I had to deal with them as well. Later on in the top 4, I found Krusty's Mr. Blasty just laying on the ground, and used it to draw the game closer. Not taking their breakup well, Peter Griffin took the defensive against an impulsing Ariana Grande. She got me down to 3 health as I jumped directly into the zone, but I still managed to get the victory royale. Yeah, no sweat weekend my ass. I went back to the lobby to earn my umbrella, and ended up level 48. To wrap things up, I switched to Respawn Rumble to grind out milestones like eliminating players and damage. I battled through games 14 and 15, where at long last I reached level 50, and did a little dance to celebrate. With that, I went back to the lobby and unlocked Homer Simpson, showing it's once again possible to complete the battle pass in 1 day. If I had waited for the last week of challenges, I probably could have gone to Evil Homer, but I also didn't want a video titled I unlocked Evil Homer in 1 day, though I still plan to unlock him on this account off camera. I had a lot of fun this season, and despite the no sweat weekend thing being a total scam, the actual XP wasn't bad. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, and click or tap here to watch a video YouTube thinks you might like. This has been Zeywerks, and I'll see you all next time.